what I mean? Like,
At
Nah, like
at
my
last
my fan light. It's like one of them is bright and the other one is dying. Like that shit don't light up anything.
you're not going to replace it for a long time, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
hey
Because real
that
shit, I don't
last
know how to. I don't know how to take it down. That's the thing. I
Oh,
forgot.
well, yeah.
that last podcast we did, I swear I heard a smoke detector beep in the
My smoke
background.
detector is actually unplugged, so it could have been me. I'm not, it might have been me. You know.
Feel like out of all the possible solutions, you chose the wrong one, but you do you.
Oh my god.
I don't even think I have one in my house.
Hold on, let me see.
Nah, we got one. We got one. I don't know if it worked, but I know we got one. I think it's just there for decoration at this point.
You're going to like go mess with it later and find it's just a sticker. It's not even a real one. It's like a
Right.
decal.
Like when not next time I try to cook something, if it go off, I know it's working. Yeah, but it don't matter. The fire department like across the street from my house, and
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
it takes forever for them to get here. They'd be like, yo, no, y'all really don't give a fuck. How you across the street? I counted, bro. I said one time the smoke detector went off when I was probably like I want to say 15, 16, and we didn't know what it was, so we just like let's just get out the house just in case. Call the fire department again. Cross the street. It take probably like 5 minutes just to get to the fire department. It took them niggas. It took them niggas 20 minutes to get to my house. I said, yeah, nah, y'all niggas would have just let the house burn down.
They just show up. The guy gets out of the truck. He's just like smoking a cigarette. He's like, I get paid by the hour, bro.
I'm like,
My
bruh,
bad. Traffic was terrible.
traffic was
Sorry.
like, nigga, you got sirens for a reason. Use them.
All right. Shout out to the 11 people. We got 11 viewers right now on Twitter. We live.
Hey,
We live.
hey.
We ready to go. Listen. Everybody introduce yourself. To the right, top right. I don't know if he top right on my screen, but I guess it's Josh on my screen.
Oh, I'm about to say top right on my screen is Sunny, but all right,
See?
you want to start with me?
Yeah.
All right, see, you gotta be better organization, bro. Like, what we doing here?
Listen,
already?
my screen is different from your screen, so I don't know. That's tough.
All right, bro. It's your boy RT Josh. You know, you can follow me on my Twitter page, Joshua Counts One, and on my podcast, Afro Anime, on YouTube and
Yeah.
Instagram and Twitter. Road to 100, bro. We at 89.
Oh, good shit. Steven.
What's going on, everybody? Sunny Slim. You can find me on Twitter, and I'm on Blue Sky now. Everyone's on Blue Sky.
Is that the new shit everybody's been plugging
Yeah,
up
that's
now on
what
Twitter?
everyone's on now. Yeah. So
All right.
that's where I'm at.
Bottom right, the potato himself, face reveal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, I'm Jolson. I'm
Maybe.
the Jolson on all relevant social media platforms. If you see a profile picture of a potato with a crown on it, probably me. No.
Biggest catfish ever. I'm just shocked. I had no
I'm
idea.
potato
Another
shaped, if nothing else. Like that is legit.
one. We had another catfish in the community because they don't
Oh
look nothing
my
like that.
god.
I just
That's
decided to do it
crazy.
differently. I didn't go with the hot chick.
I respect that. He said, I'm gonna change up the game, bro. I'm gonna change it up.
Yeah, for once people are pleasantly surprised, like, oh, he's not actually a potato.
All right, so Josh, what you playing right now? Tell the people what you playing right now, gang.
Nigga, I ain't playing nothing. I just got done dinner. I ain't playing nothing, bro. I gotta go to be at work in the morning. You said, yo, Pop, it was
not
open
right,
lobbies.
not literally right now. I'm saying like, what are you playing
Oh,
in
right.
general?
Oh,
what are you
oh,
playing right
oh,
now?
I didn't know. You that was all right. My bad. I'm a first time on the show, bro. People, I'm first time on the show. Big signal, big show. All right, but what I've been playing? Yakuza series. I just started the Yakuza series for the first time. On Yakuza 1. Recently ran through the Tomb Raider series. In terms of anything new, I was playing Outlaws, but like Outlaws is a good game, but it's just like it's really buggy with the visuals ain't the greatest. So I'm gonna put that to the back burner when the Pro come out. I did secure that, so I'm like most of the games I was gonna be playing, like Dragon Age, Sonic Shadows is still the main one I'm gonna be playing, but Zero Dawn remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it, Dragon Age.
A1.
All that is gonna be pushed to the Pro, bro. I'm not even. I'll purchase it day one, but I'm not playing it day one. I'm gonna wait till the Pro drops.
Nah, I feel you. That makes sense to me. Jolson, what you playing right now, bro?
Well, since Metaphor Refantasio came out, I've put like 60 hours into that game since last Friday.
Damn.
It's got its hooks in me, man. It's a hell of a game. Otherwise, I don't even know. Like I was telling Steven before you got in here, like I need another game because I'm right near the end of that. So I need to get back into Space Marine 2 in a little bit and put more time into that one.
Oh, Sparking Zero is also what I've been playing. I forgot to mention that. Sparking Zero.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Ball.
DBZ, represent.
Yeah, everybody playing
all
that.
the time, bro. All the time.
All right, Sonny, what you playing?
I'm playing Halo right now. Right now as we speak.
Oh god.
I'm playing Halo Infinite right this second.
Which Halo Infinite. I'm about to say which Halo.
Yeah, I'm playing Firefight. No, I'm playing that. I'm playing Echoes of Wisdom. I just got that on the Switch this week. I picked up Metaphor. I'm not going to get to it right away though. I'm playing I still need to beat Blue Dragon on my Xbox and fucking Stellar Blade on PS5. Like it's just
You ain't beat that yet, bro?
No, I ain't beat that yet. I haven't gone
that's
back to it.
good.
I got Wukong on PC too. Like
Oh yeah, you locked in on games, man.
I got about 600 hours worth of games right now that I need to
Yeah.
get to. So it's a little
You gonna be busy during the holidays.
I'll stop playing these chunky JRPGs to play like Indiana Jones and like Call of Duty Black Ops and stuff, like the campaigns. I'm assuming they're gonna be like 6 to 12 hours at most each. So,
Black Ops campaign, yeah, I'm looking at probably
like 6 hours. Yeah.
6 if we're lucky, 6
I
hours.
was gonna
Probably
say
5.
like 4, 3. Wasn't one of the more recent ones like a 3-hour campaign?
3,
Yeah,
which I played was like 2.5 hours, bro. It was not.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 3. Yep.
The guy who voiced Kratos got up and made a joke at the Game Awards about like, okay, my speech is gonna be actually shorter than a Call of Duty campaign.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Hey,
yeah, I'm gonna play those too, but it's gonna be good.
Hey, 30 people. Hey, welcome everybody that's watching live on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Welcome, man. It should be a fun show. I just started Ninja Turtles, Mutants Unleashed. It's pretty good so far. It's actually a lot deeper than I thought it would be. It's got like a day and night cycle. It's got open hubs on the map you can go to and build relationships with characters to unlock new moves and stuff. So I'm enjoying that. What else am I playing right now? Undisputed Boxing, of course. New season of 2K started today playing that. I got to get back into Sparkling Zero. I just got to find time to fit it in there. And I'm going to start Squirrel with a Gun probably tomorrow because I think I'm going to be on Ninja Turtles and 2K the rest of the night.
Is that the game you recently just picked up from GameStop, Squirrel with a Gun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I've been waiting for that for a long time. So when I start
He's
playing
been talking about that one for months.
I've been waiting for that for a while. But nonetheless, let's move on. So Xbox Partner Showcase. Sonny, you are our resident Xbot. So you listen. I honestly I didn't even watch it because I just went to like IGN and they have like the playlists after the showcases that have all the stuff on it, and I didn't really see anything I was really interested in, so I didn't really see anything from it. But you tell us what they showed. Was it good or not? Did it have any new exclusives?
I think they just announced like 5 of the games are going to Game Pass. I don't know if any of them were exclusive though. I don't think any of them were. But I don't know. I mean, I haven't played Alan Wake 2 yet, so I wasn't really all that excited for that. That new Bloober game looks pretty cool, Chronos. It looked alright. And then there was a Eternal Strands. It's like a action RPG. That shit looked pretty cool. But other than that, everything else was just kind of like, it wasn't like, none of the games looked like awful. It was just nothing like exciting. You know what I mean? Like,
is it weird that I think the best looking one, at least in terms of being like off the wall, is that Mouse PI for Hire game where it's like old school Mickey animation first person shooter?
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
I thought it was a Cuphead thing at first. I thought it was gonna be like a Cuphead DLC or something, and then
I had to Google the partner showcase too because if gun to my head, I couldn't tell you a single thing that was announced.
The only thing I know is that Wu Chang and Expedition are on Game Pass. That's enough for me. So I
saw Subnautica 2, and I was like, that's pretty much it. Like, it's I kind of want to agree with Sonny, like kind of piggyback off of it. It wasn't anything special. I mean, like most of this could have been sent out like in an email, real shit. Like, like I'm not even trying to be like that dude. Like I got nothing against Xbox. It's just that when we think of showcases, we kind of expect like new shit dropping. Like most of the stuff that they showed were new, but it's just like it's already like it's just.
They called it a partner preview. They didn't like hype it up like a like a fall showcase.
That's true. That's fair.
But
if I could be the devil's advocate, So I was going to say, I'm not. I'm not a big Xbox person, but they need more positive media around the Xbox platform, especially when it comes to just games in general. Like, hey, look at these games we're excited to have on our platform, and I don't think they do enough of that. So, like, sure, it wasn't like a knockout of the park thing, but the most positive coverage I've seen from Microsoft about the Xbox in a while.
Yeah, and like 5 of the games are coming to Game Pass. I mean, I think the main thing is like, if you're not talking about exclusive, most people that are going to talk about it on Twitter are just going to be like, oh, look at all this stuff that's coming to my PlayStation. Like, they don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just the people like that actually, like, I'm on Game Pass, so, it's like, oh, cool. Like, 5 of these games look pretty cool, and I'll play them on Game Pass. On my PC, but not on my Xbox, like, so it's just kind of how it is now.
So sticking along with the theme of Xbox, so the Galaxy Xbox and the discless Series X. I'll go first to get it out the way. I actually think around tax time, I'm a budge, and I want to get a Galaxy Series X. Listen, I think I'm gonna get it.
Is that the all black with the sparkles on it?
Yeah. Listen, I'm a sucker. Look, as much as I talk about how Microsoft get on my nerves, and I'm sick of them, somehow they just keep finding ways to just reel my wallet back in, man. I actually think it looks good. With a couple of Game Pass games, I think I'm gonna wind up buying it next year, spend the $600, and then I'm gonna be complaining again next holiday.
I was gonna say, you just posted on Twitter talking about like, I'm glad I canceled my Game Pass.
See, listen, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker.
Well,
he's such a phony.
He's such
a phony.
I can also partially understand it because it means you can play your physical games on it, right? So anything in your collection, you'll be able to pop it in there. The discless one, I'm just like,
is the discless one cheaper than the one with the disc drop? I'm just curious because if you start talking about getting on the Game Pass, why not buy the one with discless? Because it's like, are you going to buy the Xbox?
I think the white.
You know what?
What doesn't make any sense to me?
I'm gonna get the discless one. I'm gonna get the white one then.
Yeah, is it just like, go ahead. My bad, Sonny.
No, isn't the all digital one only a terabyte though?
Yeah. Well, they're making a 2 terabyte Series S. That's what's coming up.
I know there's a digital
not gonna be any better
Series
than what
S.
they originally dropped, so it don't matter.
Because like my thing is like, why is the Galaxy Disc Series X 2 terabyte, but the all digital is 1 terabyte? Like that should be the opposite to me. Like
it shouldn't be. It should be the same. It should be the same. If you ask me, like both should be 2 terabyte.
Right. Or that.
But I think the PS5 Pro is going to be 2 terabyte too, right?
It's 2 terabyte. I'm gonna have a 3 because I got a terabyte SSD that I gotta put in it. But it's I just like
it's only.
Go ahead.
It's 100. It's gonna so to get a PS5 Pro with a disk drive, it's gonna be $180 more than the Galaxy Series X, which is just an extra terabyte.
I will tell you right now, with the news, I don't know if Gutter had it on his itinerary to talk about it, but with the news that just dropped from Insomniac, I don't even need the disk drive no more. That was the only reason I was going to get the disk drive, is to hold out hope that they was going to put something out for that game. And I said, when they announced, I said, go on, get rid of it now. It's done. It's working.
For me, my PS5, a lot of times I buy a physical game and then I beat it and then I sell it. So like, because I only have a PS5 for first party games, so if I like getting a PS5 Pro, I have to get a disc drive because every game that I pretty much own on PS5 right now is a disc. So I don't know. It just kind of, maybe when Wolverine comes out, I'll pull the trigger on a PS5 Pro.
I'm an impulse buyer. So if a game's like, oh look, here's a $15 digital copy of this game. Thank you. My digital library is a little out of control.
I almost impulse bought Squirrel with a gun yesterday because GameStop Maximum has this weird thing with them where they always get people outside of the company to do the physical disc. Mm-hmm. So like the disc wasn't there when I went to pick it up, and it's all Maximum. Any Maximum game for anybody listening, it's not going to be there on time. They always ship late. So it wasn't there yesterday. So I'm like, should I get it digitally? It's $20 if I get it on the PlayStation Store. The disc is $30. Maybe I'll go ahead and buy it if it's not here by Friday. But it was here today, so I wound up picking it up. But sticking along with Josh's point, which is next on the list, is Spider-Man 2, no DLC. So y'all tell me how I feel about that. Josh, you go first.
I'm disappointed. I'm gonna keep it being. I'm disappointed. I know what a lot of people said that they wasn't going to announce it. It was the whole league thing. Even if they weren't, I was kind of still holding out hope because we left a lot on the table at the end of Spider-Man 2. Like just the story, we left a lot on the table. Like Chameleon was revealed. Spoiler alert, but the game been out forever at this point.
Yeah.
Like Chameleon, Carnage. You probably had storylines with Wraith. There was rumors of the Beetle coming in. So I'm like, you had potential for a DLC. At the end of the day, I know Gutter, you put probably almost like 100 plus hours in the Spider-Man. I probably got to think about 40, maybe 50 hours into that game. Overall, I was really excited. I was kind of that was going to be my main attraction to come back into Spider-Man 2 because listen, I didn't care for none of the costumes. I was good. I'm here for the story. So for no extra like missions or DLC, it is saddening. But at the end of the day, I think on the bigger picture is that they're gearing up for Wolverine or gearing up for Spider-Man 3. So I think, and I'll add just their Marvel. I call it their Marvel Insomniac universe.
Yeah.
That's what they're gearing up for. So it is unfortunate we're not getting DLC, especially it's been like a year since the game came out, maybe 2, I want to say. It's just unfortunate, but it is what it is. Listen, Insomniac is arguably probably the best studio at PlayStation. They're going to deliver on Wolverine, and they're going to deliver on the future Marvel game projects. So I'm just got to sit here and be patient. It is what it is. I got plenty more games to play in the meantime.
Any thoughts, Jolson or Sonny?
I mean, since they never said they were doing DLC, it's hard for me to be like disappointed. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I think Insomniac's hitting that kind of, for a while they were coming out with like just game. They had like Spider-Man, and then they had Miles, and Ratchet was right after that, and then Spider-Man 2 comes out not long after that. I just think they kind of hit that kind of wall eventually where it's just too many things at once. They're doing Wolverine. Isn't there like a Venom game or something they're supposed to be working on?
Yeah,
I think the Venom game is related to the lack of DLC. I wonder if originally what was planned as DLC has now kind of broadened in scope to almost like Miles Morales was originally, I think, started as DLC for Spider-Man. And it kind of ballooned into a full product. So I'm curious if any of those storylines you were talking about might actually tie into the Venom standalone game.
Well, and I think
Carnage,
we also saw
Carnage is the only one I can see.
I think we also saw in Spider-Man 2 that workload was probably one of the reasons why Spider-Man 2 was a little bit more of a buggier kind of game than.
Well, and the budget ballooned real bad. Like that one, like the first Spider-Man was like $100 million game. This one was closer to like 250.
Yeah, they put a lot in. They put a lot.
I mean, like and it wasn't like it wasn't a Bethesda game buggy or nothing, but like it was definitely like it felt a little less polished than. Their previous releases, in my experience.
I think it was also a little more ambitious in a lot of areas too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially like it was a really legit next gen game. Like I mean, Rift Apart was too, but Ratchet and Clank has been their bread and butter forever. But I mean, with the Venom stuff and switching between protagonists and a bigger New York,
the fast travel system.
Oh my gosh, that was impressive.
Just the speed of moving around the city was like twice as fast as the PS4 game. Or faster. So I mean, like, yeah, I get it. Like, and the city looked amazing, and they added onto it. Like, you had the other half of the city this time, right?
The borough, yeah, they had the extra boroughs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the whole like side island to the right from the regular map. I don't know New York, so I don't know what it is, but like,
they added
just
Queens, and expanded.
Yeah, Queens.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it was a lot. So and you could tell. I mean, there was just a lot of little things here and there. So and with them working on like 2 or 3 more games, but it's hard to criticize them too much. I mean, you got other PlayStation studios like Naughty Dog that haven't put nothing out this gen, and I don't count the remakes. All right, so like
they're at the bottom right now with the fan base.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Naughty Dog also they put a lot of work into that canceled multiplayer game. So that's a lot of man hours that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of conversation with them, like since the start of the generation they've only put out remasters. Like, and
I understand, and I think Naughty Dog in general is a little overrated. Like they do good work, but I mean, Uncharted 4 is probably my favorite game they've ever done. Last of Us is good stuff. It's just not really. It's not for me as much. But Insomniac, I feel like makes more broad experiences.
I think, I once called them overrated. Because I think they're definitely
Just a little.
Top-
Like I just a lot of people
top
talk
three.
them like they're the best developer out there, and I just
No, I
that's
don't
a
call him
little
that.
too high.
I don't call him
Yeah.
that. I don't call him that. I think if you want to go best developer, I still think Santa Monica and Insomniac are still up there, especially from the PlayStation family. But Naughty Dog, I think is up to top 5, top 3. I just think with them, like it's just a lack of transparency. Like we haven't heard nothing from you. All we are getting from you is really just the show, which is going to do numbers no matter what because you have the HBO budget and the machine pushing that. So when it comes to games, we're only speculating and like assuming Last of Us Part 3 is coming soon. We don't know about anything else. Like, is there a possible new Uncharted with Nathan Drake's daughter? Is there a different game all entirely new IP that you're going to work on? So, and the thing is, like, Santa Monica is quite like, and also I'm throwing a Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch was also in that, like, that Naughty Dog realm
Ghost
too.
of Yotai?
Until they finally unveiled Ghost of Yotai. But the only one that kind of gets a pass from everybody is Santa Monica and Insomniac, because Santa Monica, all right, you delivered on God of War Ragnarok, and you gave DLC, which nobody expected at all, and story DLC at that. So now it's like, all right, we'll be patient for y'all because you probably want to figure out what direction you want to take this storyline. Is it going to be Kratos again or Atreus? Insomniac, Marvel Universe coming up. Naughty Dog is really the one that's got to deliver now.
I think there's a couple things too, though, where PlayStation's on a different kind of mentality right now. They don't want to announce games unless they're within months of release, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not like Xbox. We still got games from 2019 that haven't come out yet. You know, Everwild's been in development for 93 years. Fucking Perfect
They just
Dark.
promoted the head of Rare to like the head of like I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean that
having the State of Decay 2, is that out or I don't even know.
Three.
Yeah.
Three. All right.
They showed a clip during the summer thing with no date, no gameplay, no. It's just like, by the way, we're gonna tease you again. We're gonna give you nothing.
It had some like tailored gameplay, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't really like real gameplay, you know. And so, I mean, there's that. I think with Naughty Dog, and it's also I think PlayStation's push into live service, like. They've gotten away from this thing where, you know, with Space Marine 2, for instance, has a pretty cool campaign and it's got a PvP that's not going to have it's not going to be a lasting PvP, but it's just fun. It's like a 360 era tacked on PvP mode, right? And that's all Faction should have been. It should have been in Last of Us 2 as a throwaway PvP mode. You play it for a few months after release and then whatever, people move on. Like it didn't have to be this like standalone game that they expect to make them money for years, like Fortnite or something. You know, like
and that's the killer. Everybody tries to copy that Fortnite formula. Everybody wants to be Call of Duty. Everybody wants to be Apex or Fortnite. It's like, listen, you can't copy that. Like that's a machine that's gonna keep going way after you're gone. Like it's not ever it's like you can't make a LeBron James. Like it's gonna be only one. You just gotta do what you got with the pieces that you have around you.
And it's frustrating because like you put all those resources into Factions, which didn't need to be its own game.
Yeah.
You remade The Last of Us 1 and cut the Factions mode, the PvP mode that it had. I mean, it's like Halo C's remaster, the anniversary. They didn't have the multiplayer in it for online multiplayer, and because they didn't want to compete with, you know, the new Halo or whatever. And it's like, who cares, man? And that's why MCC is so great. I mean, you've got, you know, every Halo ever multiplayer forever. Like, it's awesome.
Well,
you know,
and sorry, I was just going to say the live service thing they're chasing because if you nail it once, it's a license to print money.
Oh, yeah.
Like you don't like you can fail a bunch of times, but you get one good one where you just get that microtransaction money flowing in, like NBA 2K.
Yeah.
Like
that's another one that's in that Fortnite realm too, along with Madden. Madden's up there too, but they just sell themselves. Like you don't even need to. People, I was about to say the N word, but people gonna buy 2K no matter what. Like you don't even got to put gameplay out for it. People gonna buy 2K.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like the issue too is like, why are you having Naughty Dog, your premier single player developer, trying to do that? Why is WB having Rocksteady, their premier single player game developer, doing that? Like,
well, you heard
get
what
the
CEO
talent
of
that does those
WB
kind of
said. He said he still want that live service gem for Warner Brothers,
which is fine. Like that's fine to me. That's fine. But like, make a studio or get a studio that has done that successfully, or that has people that have done that successfully. Why are you taking, you know? Yeah. Like,
Because I'm about to say, don't put the ones that are great at what they do best and try to have them reinvent how to make them a whole new wheel. Excuse me, is that like they just can't rock steady as great as they are. Listen, I enjoy Suicide Squad for what it is, but it wasn't to me going to be a long-term game. Now, surprisingly, I'm still shocked that it's still going the way it is. I thought it would be dead by now, but they might make it to the end of their first season pass and all that, but I don't know if they're gonna make it to the second.
Well, you got to remember for that when Suicide Squad was supposed to come out last year, around the same time, around the beginning of the year, all the DLC and stuff, like the game was done. The game was completely done. It just pushed it back a year to polish it. So everything that they're releasing now is just stuff that, like, is reportedly is like a skeleton crew that's still working on this game because everything is done. They just rolling it out. So
yeah, once they empty the cupboard, probably done.
Yeah, that's it. But
I mean, look,
no, go ahead.
some developers can make the switch, right? Like, I mean, you had Guerrilla, went from making FPS to making Horizon, and they did a really great job. We're gonna find out if Playground can make the switch from fucking racing games to Fable, which is insane to me. I have no doubt that tech-wise, the game's gonna be amazing. Like, it's gonna look great. How it plays and its RPG systems, that's up to, we'll see. I mean, I don't think,
or its art.
Yeah, I don't know how much experience the team there has on RPGs and RPG mechanics and stories. I mean, there's no stories in Forza Horizon or whatever, right? So,
people think it's easy to write a story. It's not. You gotta capture people interest right out the gate, bro. Like probably first 3 hours. I was talking to Metallic Gamer. First 3 hours. If my interest isn't captured, then I don't see the reason why I'm playing this game.
Well, and not even that, but like you're giving them, I mean, I'm not going to put Fable on a pedestal with like, Elder Scrolls or whatever, but it's a pretty beloved IP for Xbox gamers anyway.
Yeah, no, I know about the Fable love.
So I think they were chosen because of the region. I think they're like in the UK, and it's a very UK centric kind of.
Very British humor style.
So
yeah.
that's probably why they were chosen. But I don't know. Maybe they added people to the team that, have experience with that. I don't know, but I'm excited for it. But hopefully they can make that jump to a genre that they don't usually, have anything to do with. So.
All right. So back to Spider-Man 1 second, then we're gonna move on. So my conspiracy theory, and I'm calling it a conspiracy theory because I don't want to get in trouble. My conspiracy theory is that after the leak happened, I believe that they canceled all of the DLC in order to shore up Wolverine, because they got to do a lot of reworking on that game, a lot of rewriting. A big superhero was revealed that's also playable in that game, so they have to go back and really do a lot of work on that game to get it back.
You saw the leak too, then, didn't you?
I haven't seen it.
Images, but I didn't know another playable character was revealed.
Yeah. We're not gonna go into details because a lot of people didn't really want to see the leak because they really want to be surprised for this game. I didn't want to either, but the curiosity got to me. I'd actually agree with Gutta's conspiracy theory. Like I'm in line with that because I think when the leak happened, unfortunately, that a lot of information came out that what they had planned. They just said, screw it, let's just focus on the next game. Re-ramp it up, work on a lot of stuff, make sure everything is perfect, because now the expectation for Wolverine has got to deliver. Like, Wolverine has to be in that Arkham City territory of like greatest superhero game of all time.
Because listen, they'll come out and say that there's no DLC plan. Listen, we saw the leaks. We don't want to speak on it because we love it. We saw the leaks. We know that the Beetle was planned. We know what y'all had planned. We know Carnage and all that stuff. We know Venom is coming next year. We know all of that stuff. So we know that y'all had it planned. Now, due to the leaks, did y'all have to cancel the DLC in order to, work on other stuff? Because y'all don't have it's not a million developers there, right? So they can't be working on Spider-Man DLC, 3 seasons of that, Venom and Wolverine at the same time. It just doesn't work logistically. So, yeah, man, we'll see what happens going forward with Insomniac, but I mean, we know the quality and the level of work that they do. So
well, and I think that's part of the problem with leaks in general. I think you're right that the Wolverine leak, partially because of the stage it was in, kind of screwed Insomniac over. There's a reason we don't see games until they're after a certain point. Like, so a lot of people were trashing like the graphics, the art, and all that. But it's, I mean, when you're that or at that stage in development, it's almost unfair to judge it based on that.
That wasn't
but
even alpha. That was like
exactly. I think that was putting. I think they put that more pressure on them. So I think you're right. It probably was a factor because they're like, we have to prove when we are ready to reveal it that it's nothing like what people think they're getting from that leak.
All right, so, what are y'all expectations for Dragon Age? Like, do we see it, being the biggest game of the year sales wise? Do we see it being upset? Is it going to be a critical darling? Like, what y'all think about that?
I want to talk about that real quick because I never really played Dragon Age, but the Dragon Age Vilgard gameplay, the story, the mechanics of how what everybody talking about how the devs are talking about how like very similar to Mass Effect, and Mass Effect is one of my favorite video game series of all time. I'm very intrigued of what I've seen from Dragon Age. I can't wait to personally play it. I don't know if it's gonna. I think the game of the year conversations are about wrapped up, and I kind of think we all know who's going to be in that list. I think it could be like a sleeper. I think Dragon Age could be a sleeper. I think it could be an interesting game that people might sleep on, and then when it comes out or later on a later date, let's all play this. Like, I think that could be Dragon Age, and that's okay. I don't need every game to be a massive hit day one or going into the release. Like, sometimes some games are better off as sleepers. I mean, Prince of Persia: Lost Crowns was a sleeper.
That game is sweet.
Yeah, like I think that's one of my nominees for Game of the Year as well, in my opinion.
I think Dragon Age, from a technical standpoint, I think it's going to be superb in a lot of ways. I'm worried for me personally. I think it's going to be one of those games that I play and I'm like, this is like the 7th out of 10 game I've ever played. Because the combat hasn't really impressed me. I mean, there's some nice things about it. The combat is fine. The characters, especially like the Qunari looks like a bad Pixar render of a Qunari from Dragon Age 2. There's just kind of a cartoonish quality to the characters that's fine. I mean, it looks good. But BioWare is very much in that you got to prove it stage ever since. I mean, the last, in my opinion, good game they put out was Mass Effect 3. Dragon Age Inquisition was fine, but it was bloated. I didn't care for the writing. I didn't care for most of the characters. I know it won Game of the Year. I know people love it. But it wasn't. I'll fully admit, it wasn't for me. I think it's fine. But I mean, especially since Anthem and everything, I think BioWare has to prove that they have the writing chops more than anything like that, because that's what they were known for. You look at their best games: Knights of the Old Republic, Mass Effect, Jade Empire back on the original Xbox. Which, if people haven't played it, they need to play that game. They haven't written anything nearly that good in so long that I'm worried it's going to be.
They haven't had a bestseller in a long time as well.
It'll be. So that's my worry. I'm worried I'm going to be the guy who's like. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait and see the reactions.
But again, like I said, I think like even though like probably for people like have all three of y'all played Dragon Age, like previous Dragon Age?
I played them all.
For Sonny and Joe, I think yes. If you you being a previous Dragon Age player, okay, you go in there. I'm like, all right, I can see why you have reservations about the game. It could be a 7 out of 10. But for myself and Spider, it's like, all right, never played Dragon Age. This 7.5 or 7 game could probably be a dope game to us, because like, I've never experienced something like, well, I'm not gonna say never experienced for something like, but never playing the story, this fantasy Dungeons and Dragon like world. This actually looks pretty dope.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I don't think it's gonna be a bad game in any respect. I just don't know if it's gonna live up to that BioWare kind of classic kind of reputation. And there is something weird about a game that. I know they're trying to get the biggest audience possible, but if you're making a game for a broader audience and kind of leaving the people who made your series famous behind, I've always found that to be a weird approach anyway. And a lot of the stuff that people loved about the first Dragon Age game especially is so much in the rearview mirror for these guys at this point in terms of like RPG mechanics and detailed storytelling sort of a thing. So, but I mean, again, I'm sure it'll be a good game.
That's also been the case with every single Dragon Age release, though. Like, none of them are the same. Like, Dragon Age 2 is nothing like Inquisition. 2 is nothing like Origins. Inquisition's not like Origins. So, I mean, really, with Dragon Age, it's been this thing where Dragon Age Origins fans love that game, and they have never gotten another one like it since then. Because that was the same time period that BioWare was moving towards. Like Mass Effect 2 is seen as a success doing it, but it does a lot of the same stuff that Dragon Age 2 did and Inquisition did, and where it just got kind of more casualized, towards the newer audiences coming in, which is a big thing with RPGs in that time period in general.
I think Mass Effect 2 also has some of the best writing I've ever seen. Just also based off the consequence system.
Yeah. And it's just a lot of different things, though. I mean, people put a lot of stock in the name of a studio, and I think people forget that the people that wrote KOTOR are not at BioWare anymore. Like they're not there. Like it's not the same studio as it was.
Are they at Sony at least? For the KOTOR remake?
I mean, I don't know for a fact if every single person is gone, but like it's like Halo, right? Everyone was saying like, oh, they just changed the name of the studio. I think they're gonna fool us. Like, no, it's a completely new studio, new leadership, new people at the studio. And will that change anything?
Hey, Embracer, give us a fucking update on the KOTOR remake.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with Gutter. I'm with Gutter. Honestly, it's in limbo, bro. That game was announced, I think, what, 2020?
This Embracer group is trash. They have no business in the gaming industry. Free the IPs.
Yeah, that game in limbo, bro. But that game in limbo. I don't know if we getting that. And I'm a big Star Wars person, and I was really excited when I first got announced, but I don't know if we getting that. I want to pick up back something that Joe said about making a game that's for newer audience and kind of like leaving the previous generation behind.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, because I've seen that a lot in a lot, like just not in just the games, like in movies, television, whatever. I think it's a double-edged sword. So for you being an OG Dragon Age guy, I can see why you have reservations. I feel like you probably feel like you're being left behind, but I think it's a necessary sacrifice. It's an unfortunate necessary sacrifice, but you're getting hundreds, if not thousands of more new people into Dragon Age. Because the perfect example of this in terms of the gaming industry is Final Fantasy. I didn't start playing Final Fantasy till 7 Remake came out, because you went from turn-based. Well, actually, it was 15. Because you went from turn-based, because I wasn't the biggest turn-based guy. I have a new appreciation for turn-based now. I'm not gonna say I love it all the time, but I'll play whenever it comes available to me to play. But damn it, Minnesota beat the Liberty. But had a brain fart.
They coming back.
Yeah, they coming back. But for Final Fantasy, but when you make that transition to the free roam action, I think now for the millions that you could have had originally if you had it in the original Final Fantasies, you just gained them again. You just gained that possible big, broader new audience now. So now people are coming in with Final Fantasy, now learning about Cloud and Sephiroth and see how popular they are to original. I knew about Final Fantasy 7 before Remake even came out, because I know Final Fantasy fans.
I think it's a tough line to walk, and I think it can be done successfully, but then you also see examples where it's done very poorly, especially with modern adaptations of movies, TV shows, and books, and the like. Like, my favorite book series is The Wheel of Time, and that show is bad. Like, that show is not good. Or Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Like, a lot of times you see fans online argue about it, and I'm not here to make judgment on the show, but the argument, a lot of the newer fans are like, well, at least it's something, right? At least you're getting Tolkien content, whereas a lot of the older fans are going to be like, well, I'd rather have no new content than bad content. And that's how I feel about like the Wheel of Time show. Yeah. I don't want an adaptation if it's going to be a bad one. So this is where, like, Dragon Age, it could be very good, and the writing it's really more the writing than the gameplay that's going to sell it for me. If they knock it out of the park with the characters, I got to have characters I care about. I got to have a story I care about, something compelling. That's what I think about with BioWare. And they may not be the same studio, but they're still trying to sell off the name.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
So if they can walk that line, I'm open to it. I try, like God of War. I think God of War evolved. A lot of people kind of miss the older God of War, but I really like 2018. I really like Ragnarok. So it can be done. I'm just hesitant to think that BioWare's in a state where they can do it.
So it's funny because like you're saying, like it's a hard line to walk, because in my opinion, a lot of times what I hate is like, so I saw a comment or a tweet on something related to Fallout where a guy was like, he was like, everyone's always upset that they're watering down the RPG elements in Bethesda games. He's like, but I love that. I wish they'd take out all the RPG elements for the next Fallout. And I'm like, see, those are the kind of people that I don't want coming into my IP. Like, no, to hell with you.
I don't want
like,
Call of Duty Fallout. No.
Yeah. And so like, it's like one of those things where it's like, are you trying to do new things or take risks with the IP like God of War did? which
Keep
turned out to
Fallout
be very,
great.
very
Keep
successful.
Fallout great.
Yeah, right. Or are you trying to cater to people that really didn't give a shit about your IP in the first place and really don't deserve to be catered to? Is what my kind of take is on it a lot of the times. And I think that in Final Fantasy there is some argument there too, where like 7 Remake was pretty successful. Rebirth has been, I guess, less so because they haven't really been talking about it.
It's more so for me because Rebirth also became a game that just got moved to the back burner. I ain't beat it yet. I was on chapter 6 when and honestly I can say I burnt myself out because when it comes to open world games, I'm the type of individual that will try to do everything. I'm not even just in the open world. I'm not even trying to get the trophies. I just like learning about shit. So I burnt myself out. But I think the thing with Rebirth is it's just visually it's not the best looking game because it's just the PS5 as powerful as it is. Rebirth is not built for the PS5. I think the Rebirth is honestly built for the PS5 Pro. So, and seeing the difference that it gave on the Pro, yeah, Rebirth will be restarted on the Pro from the beginning for me.
I didn't really have any issues with the way Rebirth looked. I had more issues with how the world was designed. A lot of the side content was just boring and not really innovative or interesting. It was just a lot of, yeah. I mean, it was just kind of like you go to each zone. It's the same 5 objectives, with 5 or 6 of each of the same objective type and stuff. And I got tired of it after a while. So, I mean, I think with Final Fantasy, it's just like, and Final Fantasy has always been an anthology, right? They try different things. Even within the turn-based games, there's different gameplay styles, whether it's got the ATB or whether it's doing different things with the jobs or whatever. I was like, but I think when you go to the extreme of like Final Fantasy 16, which is so polarizing, and a lot of people that love the game want to just dismiss the older fans, but I mean, we're seeing games like Metaphor, and we're seeing games like Sea of Stars and
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yakuza going turn-based when Final Fantasy is going action, and it's like there's still a market for turn-based games.
Oh,
like
Expedition 33 coming out next year.
Expedition 33, and we'll see if it's good, but it looks interesting.
They have a big roster of superstars, so they gotta deliver on
Charlie Cox, Ben Starr.
Yeah, they got a roster right there.
And I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 16 within the next 6 months or so. I've got it on my list.
I love 16. I'm an old school fan, but I loved 16.
Yeah, and
this game is like really good.
It's not perfect.
And so I don't know enough about the game to like fully give an opinion on it, but I do know that like it's lacking a lot of things that just RPGs have. Like it doesn't have a party system, it doesn't have jobs or classes, it doesn't have fucking elemental weaknesses. You can hit a fucking fire elemental with fire and it still hurts them. Like
we're still on talking about 16, right?
Yeah, 16.
Okay. Then because I know a lot of big JRPG guys was very critical of that. Like they would just like you said, it just doesn't have what we love about RPGs.
I think that's one of those that it has probably the best story of a Final Fantasy in my opinion.
Right.
And,
I agree.
Like it really and this is where you talk about the difference between story and gameplay. The gameplay was good enough that the story really elevated it for me. Mm-hmm. Versus if you have a game that has terrible gameplay, I don't care how good your story is. I'm just not going to get there.
I just try to think of like how much less impactful like Final Fantasy X would be if all of your companions were just in the story, but you could never play as them, or customize them with the grid tree, or choose how you use them in battle or whatever, and then I get why people that are purists wouldn't be happy with that. I think if Final Fantasy 16 played like Remake or Rebirth, it wouldn't have been nearly as controversial as it was.
But then we want
Rebirth in terms of combat.
We want to get those boss battles like we did though. If made it like if they made it
perhaps
because them boss battles was like top tier in 16.
It's straight up kaiju fights.
It's like the my Titan boss battle is like the most memorable one. Like that shit was crazy.
Yeah. But I think again, back to Dragon Age. I think kind of along what he's talking about. How do you walk that line? And I think that's where the writing, I think, is how you save it. Regardless, like if you want to take your gameplay more broad, you keep the older fans by making sure the writing is at the right level. Because like most of the time, the old time fans, you're gonna have people complain no matter what. But if you have an okay battle system with just an amazing story, you're gonna keep a lot of fans. And that's where I'm just not sure they're gonna have that writing.
And what's interesting is Inquisition was a pretty well written game. It had its issues. It wasn't their strongest game or anything.
Like any of the characters.
Even Andromeda had a lot of good ideas and some good stories. It's just,
I don't know
you know,
about that one.
I mean,
That
so
one had
my
good
thing was
gameplay.
like,
I didn't like the
Heck,
gameplay.
yeah, and it had really good gameplay, but
I was about to say I agree with Joel. It had good gameplay. The story,
I don't-
did not give a fuck.
yeah,
And
I mean, I don't think they
that
executed
was
it.
my first Mass Effect game. That was my first one.
Ooh, okay.
No, that's rough.
So I don't necessarily think they executed it very well, but I think their idea for it taking place in a different galaxy was the best idea they could have for a follow-up to Mass Effect 3, because I mean, Mass Effect 4 is going to have this issue, and they've kind of already said in Veilguard that you're not going to be able to like import your save file and get every decision you made in the previous games or whatever. But in Mass Effect 4, which is they're also working on apparently, it's probably going to be the same. They're going to have to choose certain choices that you can make, but you're not going to, there's just way too many permutations at the end of Mass Effect 3 for you to have another game that takes place in the Milky Way after that, and for them to be able to incorporate all of those different variations into the story. And so Andromeda taking place in another galaxy completely frees them up to do whatever they want with the story. They didn't execute it as well as they could have, but I always liked the idea.
I think at the time, you're right for at the time. So when they made that game, and I agree that taking it in that direction was good, it just didn't have a good kind of centralized antagonist problem. Like I vaguely remember the bad guy from that game. Some of the stuff was interesting, setting up colonies, expanding the map as you did more. There was some interesting things. I think now, though, I understand what you're saying about the permutations and the difficulty. I think, again, that this is where the name BioWare, if there is a company that should be able to do it, and it's not the same company, but if you're going to sell me games based on the BioWare name, I'm going to expect BioWare quality.
Yeah.
I think they could do like, what was it? I think Inquisition had a prologue demo where you could enter in information from your first two, for Dragon Age 1 and 2, even if you, like, without having to play, like, or have save files.
Mass
It would be
Effect did
crazy, but if you
Mass
had a
Effect
Mass Effect primer that you could upload.
Yeah. Well, I think
Anyway.
Veilguard's going to have that too. They said there's going to be some choices that you choose in I guess character creation or during that opening process. I think Witcher 3 had a part where you had to answer some questions that
They did.
yeah. So
Like about
there's things to
Witcher
do.
2 and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think it's always a gamble, right? So we'll have to see what they do with Veilguard. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be good, but we'll see.
I just hope that it's not a Dragon's Dogma 2 situation where everybody hypes this game up so much, and I go into it with these expectations like it's about to be the next biggest thing, and then I play the game and it's just slow, soggy.
You listen to Sammy too much on that one.
Gameplay get repetitive. You know, after the first time you fight a troll, you like, holy fuck, this is amazing. And then you fight the same troll over the course of the rest of the game. The first time you see a griffin, oh my god, you could climb on it and stab it. And then you fight the same griffin 10 more times, and it's just like, all right, bro, come on. So I just hope that the game is actually good and people, you know, just don't have the... Because I've never played it, so I don't know. So I just hope it's good. But so
I think it'll be good. It'll be good.
So,
I don't. If it'll be great, that'll be awesome. But yeah, I want a good game. That's why I like.
Yeah, that's just what I want first and foremost. As long as the game is good, it's all good.
I think to answer your original question, Yoda, was just that whether it's going to be like one of those Game of the Year style games. I don't know. I feel like the industry's really down on Western RPGs right now.
So all right, so let's go into the next topic. So lack of innovation in the industry. So do y'all feel that it's a lack of innovation going on right now in gaming?
So I
Who
think
said
that
first. You go ahead.
Sorry.
Sir.
Oh,
No,
well,
go
I
ahead.
think I was reading something. Another person tweeted about this. I think the articles are being taken out of context with what Layden was actually saying.
So it's an actual article. I didn't know. I just seen the discussion on Twitter.
It was an interview with a head from Sony, one of the VPs.
Yeah, well, he an X one. He's not there anymore.
Oh, okay.
He's looked at as the GOAT at Sony.
I think he was talking about AA games mostly.
Not the AAAs.
No, I think he was talking the AAA space, wasn't he? In terms of lack of innovation.
He mentioned something about like if a double A studio or developer is pitching him a AA game or something, and the first thing he reads is something about their monetization strategies, he passes on it or whatever, and that he feels like there's a lack of innovation there. I'd have to go back and read the full article, but somebody was saying that it wasn't like him saying like the whole industry lacks creativity or whatever. you know, like some people are reacting to.
So not him specifically, but just the overarching
Yeah.
conversation on Twitter about there being
that makes
not
sense.
a lack of innovation in the industry. I personally don't think so. I just think that people have to support these games.
Well, and that's the thing. We have more games coming out now than ever before because there's so many more people getting in development. You see successes like Chained Echoes is a good example. That's a JRPG, came out like 2 years ago at this point, that a single person made. I think he hired like a composer for the music, but otherwise he wrote it, he coded it, everything, and it came out, big success, made a bunch of money. So there's so many types of games coming from so many little studios, so many individual creators. You just got to get out of the AAA space. I think at AAA, when you're putting $100 million into a game, I can understand investors being a little bit wary then and being a little more focus testing, public polling, that sort of thing. But in terms of overall, I mean, if you jump on Steam right now, you can find almost to a weird degree anything you can find.
Hentai and banana is what you're gonna find if you get on Steam right now.
I think
if you don't have your filters set correctly. Yes.
I think to answer Gutter's question, I think it's kind of both. I think a lot of people try to copy and paste what other people are trying to do. It's kind of like I view music. A lot of people are trying to copy and paste other people's styles and flows and not really coming up with their own thing. So, and I also think at the same time, it's the gamers themselves. Like Joe was talking about, you gotta get out the AAA space. You can't your main game cannot be AAA games, and that's why when it comes to the end of the year, you be like, man, there wasn't any games to play. Well, no, there's plenty of games to play. You're only playing the same ones over and over again. Expand your palette. Eat something new. So, and I also think
underestimate. Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say, I think we underestimate how many people in the gaming space are also like peanut butter and jelly gamers. They have like one console, they buy 2 games a year. It's NBA, maybe one other thing, or it's Call of Duty and one other thing.
They the bondage ones. They the 2K and Call of Duty bondage players.
Yeah, so that's so much more of the industry than I think we give it credit for. It's kind of like when you look at studies of like who plays and on what systems. Like phone gaming is actually one of the biggest markets, and that's, I mean, how many people just play Candy Crush, right?
I play Marvel Snap almost like every day.
I won't touch it because I'm not getting addicted to another Marvel mobile game after Strike Force.
No, I'm telling you, don't touch Marvel Snap because you're gonna be.
I downloaded it on Steam, but I've been scared to play it.
Well, Marvel Snap, it's way better on Steam. It's way better on Steam than I did. I started on my phone.
But so the people talking on Twitter, I mean, Twitter is kind of like an interesting space because it's the most involved, the most tech oriented, the most actual gamer types in terms of like if they're having those conversations. So it is interesting to me to those people complaining, like PS5 ain't got games, or there are no games released this year. Like that just tells me you're not looking.
Yeah, you gotta look at the indies. You gotta also not even look at indies. You gotta sometimes go back to the PS4 games that you probably missed. Like for me, like I said, I just started the Yakuza series. This was recommended me for a long time, and I finally found the time to play it. I'm locked in. I bought our Yakuza 1 and 2, and I'm just going to buy the next ones after I beat those 2. So it's something new for me. I've also I did the Tomb Raider series. I got Sea of Stars right there. I got Persona 3. Like, I have other games for me to play that are outside of my normal palette. I'm a big action adventure story mode kind of guy. So for me to play turn-based games, I'm taking a chance now. Like, I'm trying something new. I go from eating tacos to burritos now.
Once you get the Yakuza 4, just be prepared. It is the longest and most boring game in the series. I'm just letting you know.
The longest one. I was about to say, which one is the longest one?
Yakuza 4 is the longest and most boring.
Isn't Zero? I think Zero is longer. Like, but then I think Zero is stuffed.
But here's the thing: somebody recommended don't play them in the chronological order. Play them in the release order. So I did Google it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 6, and like a dragon.
Yeah. That's fair. If you haven't played it, Infamous Second Son was an early PS4 game that a lot of people missed.
That was dope. That was a dope game, man.
That was my first platinum trophy.
That was one of my first PS4 games, and I loved how, like, when you do the it's something I love about PlayStation in general. They just have experiences like this, but when you shake the controller, it sounds like a freaking can of spray paint.
Yeah. You had to like turn the controller and like use the aim to spray paint. Yeah,
it was awesome.
Like, I like I like interactive games as well. Like Detroit. Like I'm just using this as an example. Detroit Become Human. Yep. I got Life is Strange booted up because I'm going to buy the new one that's about to drop. I played all the Telltale games outside of Guardians of the Galaxy because I can't fucking find it. I can't wait for Wolf Among Us season 2. I'm locked in for that already. As soon as that announced, as soon as that's
You should
up for
play.
pre-order.
You should play The Expanse if you haven't played
Oh
it.
yeah,
good
no, I
call.
played that. Yeah, I platinum that. one. I got that
It's
one.
not
that.
Telltale, but the actual Guardians of the Galaxy game, the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy game, that game
Oh,
is
fire! That was fire.
Yep.
That was fire. Square Enix did a great job with that.
awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think we have a lack of innovation. If anything, we almost have so many choices that it's easy to miss a lot of good stuff.
Well, and I think a lot of times people dismiss things just being like a lot of things I hear online a lot is that's not new, and it's like nothing is new. There's nothing that's new anymore.
Yeah.
Everything is inspired by something. It's what they do differently with that thing that matters. So like Vampire Survivors wasn't the first game like that ever, but it had something special about it. Okay, so I mean like that's my thing, and honestly like the one thing I hate the most is like whenever I hear somebody say that there's nothing good coming out or there's no good games, you go look at their profile and they don't got no gameplay and nothing, or they're a COD streamer. It's like the whole movement behind Halo
Yo,
Infinite
it's
getting
always
a battle
a
royale
COD
mode.
streamer going viral every month
Like-
on Twitter saying, "Oh,
like, look.
gaming is so boring. It's nothing to play."
Yeah, exactly. And it's like
The same thing. That's it.
the main people pushing for Halo Infinite to break away from its roots and do battle royale was people that are so desperate to not have to stream fucking Call of Duty anymore because their viewers won't watch anything but battle royale. Like, and that's the thing. Like, if you're somebody that only plays one genre or only plays one game series or whatever, like I don't really care what your opinion is on the state of the industry as a whole because you don't play games, you
Like,
don't play the genres. Like,
I'm gonna make a new
also-
Twitter account that's just NBA 2K screenshots and me bitching about the state of
Right.
video games.
That's gotta Twitter account. That's gotta be with him and JD, bro. Shout out JD.
Posting J.
Shout out my boy,
Posting
man.
JD.
Shout out JD.
Posting
man.
JD bricking every day on the fucking.
Getting his ankles broken.
Look, I need you to post some NBA clips on a court that isn't that. I don't know what that one is that you post on all the time.
That's the only
I
one they
can't see
have
anything.
for the WNBA.
I can't see shit on that one. It's like trees on the floor or some
Dude,
shit. I was like, what is this?
This year's even better though. Last year with the city and everything, that was the worst.
Yo, I quick saw. I know I'm not the host. I shouldn't be doing this, but I quick saw. But like,
go
bro,
ahead.
what is the new thing with 2K like for you? Because you buy it every year. Like you one of the very few people I know that buy. Like I don't know that many people that buy 2K every year no more.
I bought
used
it
to be
every
that
year
guy,
since
and I
2K6.
stopped. I stopped at the 15.
Yeah.
For 2K, you got two types of people that buy 2K. You got people that love the game of basketball and really exploit the game to its fullest as it pertains to playing actual basketball. And then you have the people that just play my career. They don't ever touch 5-on-5 basketball. They don't touch WNBA. They don't play franchise mode. They just play my career only.
That was me. That was me with Chris
So
Moore.
all of the new features in the game, they're not gonna see because they're just using their one character and they're playing my career. But for me, I get new eras in franchise mode.
I like the eras.
get
I like the
new-
eras.
New teams this year in my GM mode. They put you in your office building and you can walk around the office and talk to your players. You can talk to your coaches. You can actually interact and gain XP. WNBA this year is still the same where you don't need VC to level up, but they have actual story in the career mode now. They have interviews in the career mode now, so it's more like the classic 2K My Career experience where you upgrade by just playing the game and you don't spend money. So it's so many new features, and that's not even talking about all the new features they made with the gameplay, which feels a lot more lifelike. The passes are more crispy. They have
Defense
actual
is better.
mocap signature moves, so all the moves are more smoother this shit. But if you only play My Career, which is 95% of the 2K user base, you're not going to see it. So
They are. I think, yeah, like you said, 95% still plays My Career, which I can't deny. Like, I get, like, you want to live your basketball
no,
fantasy.
it's not a bad mode. I would play My
Yeah.
Career, but the thing about it is you have to spend, like, I don't want to spend $200 to be competitive on top of spending $70 to buy the game. That's the only reason I don't play My Career. I'm not giving 2K extra money.
But aren't you doing that? Well, because you talk about my gym, but aren't you doing that kind of like when it comes to the city and when you start doing the online shit? Like, most people
that's the problem
don't
is-
even grind.
That's what I'm
can't-
saying. But I don't play that mode. I only play WNBA. So
Okay.
yeah, so they don't nickel and dime me.
if you're in my career mode and you want to play online with other people, you basically start at like a 67 and you just get worked over and over. And that's how they incentivize you to buy.
Like just think about it like
VC.
this. They released a new pair of shorts, basketball shorts. You know the I guess they would call them Daisy Dukes. You know the ones that they used to wear like in the 80s, the higher shorts.
Yeah.
So they're $20 for one pair.
Look, y'all making fun of me for buying the Master Chief suit for $20 in Infinite.
They're $20 for a
Yeah,
pair of
buying the
virtual
shorts.
shorts.
I am buying the shorts.
That's
Fucking
outrageous.
$20 shorts, bro. People was going
Them
crazy.
shit don't even look good, honestly, bro. No, fuck no.
It's sad.
Uh,
It's sad.
the only exception I'll
They
say
said-
is for John Stockton. He's the only man ever in the NBA who looked good in those.
He
Two-
was.
Like,
two-
he looked weird in longer shorts.
Yeah, that's true.
2K said this is 2K said this is what the shorts would cost at the store if you bought them for yourself. So this one-
Oh.
And they gonna make the money, man. They gonna make the money.
Nah, they're always gonna make the money. It's
That's a
always
game.
there.
That's a game that it shouldn't be a $70 yearly release. It should be like an always going platform game
Free
where
to
you
play?
buy upgrades as needed, like
I think
upgraded
the game
rosters.
should be $70. I think the My Career should be free to play.
I
That's
think
what-
that.
Realize-
Hold up. I think that for Call of Duty because Call of Duty is a game to me that shouldn't be $70 anymore. Call of Duty should be free for multiplayer. Where like it's free. You just
They
update
did
it.
that, didn't they? Didn't they
think-
go Call of Duty
so-
Warzone is free to play?
But
Here's the thing,
Warzone, that's Warzone. Now multiplayer as a whole, I think multiplayer as a
Okay.
whole should be free. Campaign should only be only be charging people for campaign. That should only be $30 to $40. Honestly, 30
yeah.
is my limit.
So look, I think we're gonna see the experiment with this Call of Duty, right? Because it's on Game Pass. It's the first Call of Duty that's ever been on Game Pass.
Yep.
Like
I
at
bet
launch.
it hurts them that they had to do that.
Look, I'm telling you. So I work in the movies, right? And the studios tried that shit with streaming day one when we came back from COVID, right? They were like,
Mhm.
because they lost all that money when we closed, so they were like, we're gonna do streaming day and date, and you can go watch it in the movie theater or you can watch it at home. And motherfuckers with a clown car full of houses, like 27 people in the house watching one movie for $15 a month.
Yeah.
All right, and now there's a 45-day exclusivity window on movies, right? Because that's why Madden and 2K and Call of Duty are not free, right? Because that $70 purchase, those people buy one game a year. They don't care. They'll buy that game. They'll spend $1,000 in microtransactions over the course of a year, and then they're okay. That for some reason they're okay with, like, basically deleting that and being gone from it, never playing it again when the next one comes out.
Yeah.
You know, me like
Like a mobile phone game.
Yeah,
They look for
like that's-
whales.
that was one thing about Halo Infinite where I was like, you know, I would have been fine if Halo Infinite just stayed as the multiplayer forever or for a very long time, and they just do another campaign sometime, you know, and instead of me having to get another Halo in the future that doesn't carry over any of my purchases or any of my cosmetics, you know, which is the only good thing about that whole NFT scam thing would be if you could bring your cosmetics forward into future games, but they have to develop that into the game. But yeah, I mean, but we're gamers that like invest in our games. Like we play a lot of different games and we enjoy the experiences. But a lot of casual gamers, they just don't care. They just like, no, that's last year's COD, that's last year's Madden. I'm buying the new one, and I'm gonna, you know, they dump the kind of money that we dump into several games in a year into just microtransactions, into Ultimate Team, you know, into booster packs and MTX and whatever. So it's just a different market, and I think we'll see this year just how much. I mean, it may not be a big impact because there's people on Xbox ain't buying games really anyway, and most of the COD people are on PS5, right?
I wonder how many people in Xbox. I'm talking about casuals actually own Game Pass, so they gonna end up buying Call of Duty. No
They
matter
have to own. They have to own some level of Game Pass, either core now,
Play online.
because they have to play online.
Oh, okay.
Because Call of Duty is still a paid game. Like they can play Warzone for free without Game Pass, or without Gold, if you want to call it that, which doesn't really exist
And that's-
anymore.
They folded Gold into Game Pass. The base level of Game Pass
yeah.
is Xbox Live Gold.
Okay.
So yeah, they're playing the free. They can play the free to play games online.
I think it's safe to say about 90% of people that have an Xbox have Game Pass.
Have Game Pass. I didn't know they got rid of Gold. Like that's how uneducated.
And plus,
I am
even if you
when
look at the
Xbox
numbers,
shit.
Xbox, if you
Oh, they have
look-
like 4 tiers now, and they're all but the 2 best ones are good, and the bottom 2 are crap.
Well, that was what always pissed me off was like, they got rid of Gold, which is what we've wanted, and then they made it into Core only. So you have Game Pass Core, which only had a selection of games, and then Game Pass Console had every game day one, day and date, but it didn't have Gold. So you had to upgrade to Ultimate to get games and Gold. And then now it's even worse.
They on this scamming.
Yeah, now it's even worse.
The best version is PC Game Pass.
Yeah, Core is the same. And now Game Pass Console includes Gold, but it doesn't include all the day one games. So now when you get that new like coming to Game Pass thing, the graphic is just a mess of like, oh, this is coming to Core. This was already on Ultimate, but now it's coming to Standard. They removed Starfield and Diablo from the console Game Pass. So console owners, like if you're an Xbox only gamer, you don't pay for Ultimate, you're paying more than PC. You're getting less games than PC, and you're getting Gold, I guess. Now you're getting online, whatever. But if you only play on console, you have to upgrade to Ultimate, which includes PC, console, cloud. And it's like, I don't need all that. I don't have a PC. I mean, I have a PC, but you know what I mean? Like a console only gamer doesn't have a PC. You're making them pay for services they don't need because you won't give them the baseline experience that you're giving PC. For a PC gamer, they can just pay for PC Game Pass and get every Microsoft game day one in Game Pass, and they don't have to pay for online. Like, what sense does that make? I mean, it makes sense because they're trying to get console owners to upgrade, but like, make the PC fucking players pay for it too, but they won't because they know that crowd won't pay for it.
Yeah.
So,
listen, shout out to the 105 live viewers on X.
Yeah.
Listen, we're gonna get to the last topic. So, what is your game of the year so far? Not what you think. We're not talking about the awards, but what is your personal game of the year up to this point?
Probably Space Marine 2.
Metaphor.
I feel like the right answer is Final Fantasy Rebirth, but the fact that I haven't gotten as far as I want to get into the game, I think it's going to win all that. But I think I'm going to put Prince of Persia: Lost Crown up there. Like that's like that. I was really shocked at how great that game was. Like it was I'm a fan of Prince of Persia. It was something that a lot of fans didn't ask for of that type anyway, a Metroidvania Prince of Persia, but action-wise, story, bosses, it was challenging. I think they could turn that into like a show if they wanted to, because Ubisoft's really been going into the whole television production with Netflix. Prince of Persia: Lost Crown is like, to me, a very, very solid should be Game of the Year nominee. It should be up there as one of the final five. Like I should see Prince of Persia up there, and I wouldn't be mad.
I've been hearing so many good things about it. I need to play it.
Prince of Persia: Lost Crown is lit, man.
It really is, and it's not too expensive at the moment. I want to say I saw it for like 30 recently.
Yeah, I've got a physical copy on Xbox.
Oh, there you go.
Haven't gotten around to it.
They dropped DLC for it too as well. They dropped some DLC for it. I gotta check out the DLC when I get back on it.
For me, it is Metaphor ReFantazio is because for me, I measure it based on like not just is a game good, but does it grab me, right? And so if we're not counting DLCs, so Shadow of the Erd Tree, if like it's just the best gaming experience I've had this year, but Metaphor ReFantazio in terms of full releases is one of my favorite JRPGs ever now. It's the good stuff from Persona without the stuff that kind of annoyed me. Like I never really cared for the high school type stuff, but this epic fantasy quest in this new world with great lore, some really good story beats that I'm not going to talk about because I'm farther than most of the people in the game. So it's one of those that we're going to be talking about for years in terms of like JRPG quality. Before that, it was Unicorn Overlord. If people haven't played this strategy RPG that released in like February, from Vanillaware, who refuses to make sequels or similar gaming experiences to what they've already done. So really good game. And Space Marine 2 would be number 3.
I'm gonna throw Astrobot up there as well. I'm gonna put Astrobot.
I love Astrobot.
I forgot about Astrobot. Yeah, that's in the top 5 for me. Rebirth isn't even in my top 5. That's how crazy this year has actually kind of been.
I got
Rebirth's only in my top 10 because I've only played 10 new games this year.
So for me, Visions of Mana was I was almost there with Visions of Mana. It was so close to being number 1, but I just think that Infinite Wealth, man, that game is just so special. Like
don't go too deep into it because
I'm not. But that game was just so amazing, you know, because me personally, I don't really get into turn-based games. I always found them boring. But with
Yeah.
Infinite Wealth, they kind of combine. They found a way to combine like more action focused gameplay with the turn based gameplay. So like in Yakuza 7, it's like classic turn based. You just hit a button on the text and then you watch an animation. This game, you gotta time your punches with the animation to actually do more damage. You gotta actually hit your parry button to parry if you don't want to take that damage. You gotta actually block. You actually get to control your character and walk around the circle to position yourself. So you're not just standing there looking at an animation. You're actually moving. So it feels more action based. It's more fast paced. And that game
Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars does that very well too. Not
Yeah.
Sea of Stars does
yeah.
like no,
Sea of Stars
you gotta
too.
time it, to parry it, to do some extra damage, and to save some some damage. So
Expedition
definitely check out
33 is
Sea
going
of
to do it
Stars.
too.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for that.
I can't wait for that one. That looks very that looks very very great. That
And
looks
actually, Josh,
great.
since you're not going to play Infinite Wealth until you played all the other Yakuza games, you're going to appreciate Infinite Wealth even more.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Yakuza fan. I haven't played massive amounts of hours leading up, but Infinite Wealth has so much more for long time Yakuza fans than 7 has. And I'm not going to say anything else, but I'm just letting you know you're setting yourself up to really like Infinite Wealth.
I would say, because a lot of people told me like, yo, like they're jealous right now. Like they say, like, I wish I could go back in time to the day I first played Yakuza because it's like an amazing thing. I want to say what I'm on chapter 4 or 5 of Yakuza 1. I'm gonna definitely pick it up again tomorrow. I was supposed to play today, but I just would just cook mentally fried from work. But I was just like, I'm really locked in, like really locked in. Like I'm invested.
400 hours of Yakuza content ahead of you.
Well, but that's why I said like I need to be locked. It's not even a game, but I'm a story guy. So once I get locked in, and I'm locked in with the whole conspiracy of I got 2 friends who are now maybe ops now, and who have now just become ops. That money's been stolen from like hundreds of millions of dollars have been stolen. I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm invested. I want to see how this goes now. So I'm really excited. Like,
are you playing Kiwami version or you playing?
Yeah, no, I'm playing Kiwami. I'll say Kiwami. Kiwami version 1 and 2.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
And then I'm gonna jump into because I know they ain't remastered the others, so they just they just put them out.
There's been rumors that Kiwami 3 might actually be coming sometime.
Yakuza 3 is one of the greatest games of all time. If you haven't played that game, to anybody out there that ain't played that game, you're gonna cry playing that game.
I heard Yakuza 6 was probably the better one. That's what people tell me. Like some of my old coworkers at GameStop told me, "Yo,
Yakuza 6 is probably number 2 behind 3." It's for me if I'm ranking them, excluding Infinite Wealth. I don't rank that one yet. Enough time hasn't passed, but Yakuza 3 and 6 are some just amazing experiences out the whole collection.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Are you gonna play the pirate one?
Say again?
Day 1. I know you playing pirate.
Okay, the next Yakuza game is a pirate game starring Goro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna play it. Yeah, Majima.
Yeah.
I'm a big Majima guy now, so like
the trailer, just the release trailer, I was like, oh my gosh, dude, that looks amazing.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited for that one. I know we're about to wrap up the show, but any big games y'all looking forward to? Again, I'm not the host. Any big games y'all looking forward to till next year? For 2025?
Avowed.
Avowed.
Finally, Avowed. That should have been releasing this year, but it got pushed back because their stepped release schedule. And then Expedition 33, probably the 2 biggest games for me until Nintendo, because if Nintendo releases a 3D Mario with the Switch successor, bam, game of the year probably for me. But Expedition 33 and Avowed.
Sonny?
Yeah, if everything releases like it's supposed to, next year for me will be Avowed, Expedition 33, Wolverine if it hits next year somehow. I'm hoping. And Metal Gear Solid. See, I haven't beat Tsushima yet. Like I still need to play that.
Oh, you need to beat Tsushima.
Yotai looks great. I want to play it, but I need to play Tsushima first. But Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. I'm excited for that.
Wasn't that out this year? Did they get delayed?
Delayed. It might be next year, but I don't. Okay. I want to say delayed.
I don't think it's coming this year.
I think it's coming this year. It still don't have a date on it, so it's definitely not coming this year.
Oh, then it's next year.
But immediately, Dragon Age is my next most anticipated game.
Indiana Jones too. Like Machine Games, who made Wolfenstein and the Colossus one, the sequel. Like they do such good stuff that I'm assuming Indiana Jones is going to be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I'm not.
For me, it's gotta be Sonic Shadow, man. I'm going.
excited
That's
about
coming
that.
out like this week.
I'm seeing Shadow 3 day one.
The 25th. I
Oh,
can't
it's coming
wait.
up. Let's say that's in like a couple days, right? Like in
Next
five or
Friday.
6 days.
Yeah.
Next Friday for the standard edition. I think digital comes out like 3 days early, and I was tempted to pick up the digital edition because I only pick up special editions if I get the game early. That's the only reason I pick up special editions. But
what's crazy is I played Sonic Generations for the first time this year, like the 360 game, and it was good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, Sonic
Sonic Generation is one of the better Sonic, especially one of the better modern.
Yeah, I was about to say it's probably the best modern Sonic.
Like, because I like Frontiers. I kind of enjoyed Colors. Like, I think Colors musically was cool,
it was okay,
but
wasn't
like
bad.
the music in Colors was dope. But I think Frontiers is probably like that 2% Generations.
I've got Frontiers. I haven't played it yet, but I've got a physical copy.
Frontiers is listen,
Frontiers is great.
It's lit. It's lit. Like music was dope too. The music was dope in Sonic. 2025. I was excited for this year, but I'm gonna be even more excited because now I'm glad they did delay it and to patch it, to work on it. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows. I gotta be updated. I gotta be up there for me. Big Assassin's Creed guy. Ghost of Yotei, of course. And Expedition 33 was on there, but Sonny actually reminded me of Metal Gear because I never played none of the Metal Gear games, and I've always was really fascinated by the by the franchise. So I really want to play the origin of Metal Gear.
What's crazy for me is like I played Metal Gear Solid for the first time at the end of last year when I got the collection for Xbox.
Yeah,
and I was getting cooked on Twitter because I was hating it at first. I was like, I don't understand these controls. This game is awful, and people were just trashing me. And then I ended up loving. I ended up loving Metal Gear Solid 1. Now, Metal Gear Solid 1's great. It still holds up.
Metal Gear Solid 1 has that old control system, control scheme problem that, I mean, it was such an early PlayStation game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm not going to say it held up great, but once you get into it, once you get over past, I'll say probably the first hour. Because when I booted up the collection, I went to Metal Gear Solid VR missions, which was my favorite Metal Gear Solid game. And it played terrible. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But once you get past like an hour of playing it, and you like, okay, all right, I'm locked in now. This is Metal Gear. We back. So.
Well, and it's like I had to train my brain to not want to approach everything as a combat encounter.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a stealth mode. I'm a very action focused gamer. Like I don't play a lot of like thinking games. You know what I mean? So like, so I wanted to like go in there and judo chop everybody, and I was getting my ass kicked. But I beat Metal Gear Solid 3 in January of this year for the first time, and that's one of the best games I've ever played. Like that game is so good. So the remake is definitely going to be a day one, hopefully.
It looks nice. It looks like amazing. It looks like really, really amazing. So I can't.
And I'm glad that it just looks like a better graphics version of the original. That's why I'm excited for it.
A real remake, yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I got two. So we're gonna start with the second one. So Captain America and Black Panther for me is
that official for next year? Is that official?
It says 2025. So we'll see if it actually makes it.
I'm excited because they got my man from Walking Dead that's playing. I would assume that'll be Azuri because that's not gonna be T'Chaka. That'll be Azuri then if they're gonna be canon to Marvel. Well, canon to Marvel.
I think it was it might have been his grandfather.
That's Azuri.
Yeah.
Whoever that actor is needs to be the new Black Panther, honestly.
So that game looks good, and it's by Amy, who was the director of Uncharted. So it should be
Amy
amazing.
Hennig.
Yeah,
ooh,
with a bunch of big set pieces. And then I don't gotta say to you. Listen, y'all know my number one. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know. Listen. Y'all know what's going on. I don't even got to say a word. I don't gotta say nothing.
Not the killer bee.
Listen, y'all know when this drop, I'm not playing nothing else. I don't give a fuck.
He's gonna go dark mode. We're not gonna hear from him.
I'm not gonna be on the internet when this drop. I'm not gonna be on the internet till I hit 40 hours in the game. Period. This is what I'm waiting for.
We're gonna have to send a wellness check to his house. Like we're gonna be like, is he okay?
Listen,
we need to get confirmation of life.
When that killer bee come out.
Yo, he be using that GIF nonstop on Twitter, bro. So this dog just released the game already, so got a couple.
Dude, I know I've done well on Twitter if I get him responding with a killer bean GIF.
Yeah. Wait, also Gunna got some of the best tweets ever because especially when he be gaming. His Marvel vs. Capcom rage comment, that should be
But we didn't post that clip, but me and him played one. I've played that game one time, and me and him played, and I beat him one time in a timeout with Sentinel,
wow.
and then as soon as we went back to the character select, I immediately went to Sentinel. He's like, I ain't never seen nobody go that quick to Sentinel before.
Listen,
like what?
That's what everybody do when I play them online. I whoop their ass, they run straight to Sentinel. It never fails.
He beat me like we played like 15 matches. I won one. I won one match, and it was a timeout. Like I was like, bro.
Nah, y'all got those TOD games, bro. Like I cannot play those TODs. Like Dragon Ball Fighter was my last one. I was like, nah. After I started winning, bro, them niggas started cooking me in the ring. Let me go and retire right now, bro.
I wasn't even. I played Dragon Ball Fighters ranked a little bit. I ain't trying. Like those Tenkaichi games, man. They too much the dodging and swerving behind people.
Tenkaichi is where I excel at. Like I'm a demon in Tenkaichi.
No, those online multiplayer modes, that's a young man's game now. I've reached my old man gaming era.
I can't go on Dragon Ball and be competitive. It's just too much shit going on there. And I know that sounds crazy coming from a Marvel guy, but listen, on Dragon Ball, it's just too much shit going on that
Sparking Zero's Tenkaichi 4, isn't it? Isn't it
yeah. Sparking Zero basically it's Tenkaichi.
Dude, I can't bring myself to go online, get worked by somebody in some PvP fighting mode, and then hear like an 8-year-old's voice.
But wait,
I would quit. I would delete the game.
But the thing is, like they like listen, like for me, even though he one of my mains, I don't like bringing him out because I understand he's a meta, and I do because I like to try, like I like to like see what I need to work on with other characters. So I like to use like Cell, like I like to use the people who are not viewed as the god level characters. So a person like Vegito, like bro. When you just start, it's nothing but Vegito, it's Kefla, it's Gogeta. It's like niggas, like damn, y'all got like a whole, it's all top tiers. I'm like, yo, damn, like y'all.
Know who I'd respect? I would respect the Yamcha players.
Yamcha players,
and this is my problem. In any fighting game ever created, I just play my favorite character. I don't play who's the top. In Marvel, I play Spider-Man, who's low tier, Gambit, low tier, Iceman, low tier.
The issue is so the issue in a game like Sparking
Spider-Man nigga, I watch Marvel vs. Capcom.
Spider-Man is definitely like a
he be doing the same. He be doing that spin move. He knock it. No, bro.
He's a low tier character, bro. He's a low tier character. Look at the tier list. I'm telling you, pull up. I'm
looking at the tier list right now.
Pull up any Marvel tier list. Spider-Man is never in the top tier. Never.
So the problem with Sparking Zero though is that characters that are low tier, like Hercule, right? He got like 1.5 health bars compared to like
those stats behind those guys. Like,
it's a little different. And then like you go to hit someone.
Who is that?
What game is that?
That's Marvel vs. Capcom.
One.
So he's a
one. So he's a B tier in one. Now look him up in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
He's an S tier in one.
Look him up in Marvel 2. Look him up in Marvel 2.
Yeah.
He's such a liar.
Tell me what he is in Marvel 2 right now.
Hold on. I'm pulling it up. All right.
29.9. Don't test me on this. I know this.
He's here.
I told you. In that game, when you're using Spider-Man and you got to constantly go up against Magneto, Sentinel, and Storm, you're cooked for most people.
I'm about to say, all right, so the god tier characters in Capcom 2. Oh, damn, he right. Sentinel, Storm, Magneto, and Cyclops.
I played a couple of
Captain America and Ryu.
All low tiers.
I cannot do TOD games. Like even 2SKO, I played the beta, which was cool. I was like, I cannot do TOD. Once you get put in the blender, bro, it's hard to get out the blender. Like you just end it till your next character come in.
All right, listen.
I played 3 online matches and I was done. I was like, I'm good.
Listen, it's been a great show. Listen, y'all got anything else to say before we head out?
Nah, man, I'm straight, man. I gotta get ready for work tomorrow.
Damn. Jolson, you got anything?
Good. I'm an old man. I gotta go to bed.
Steven, you got anything?
Oh, I'm good.
Listen, shout out to the 115 live viewers. That was our peak tonight. I appreciate y'all coming through to listen to the squad. We'll be back next Friday. Well, I ain't gonna say Will. I don't know who's gonna be coming back, but everybody is
back.
welcome to come back
gonna be
next
back.
Friday.
I'm gonna be back. So next Friday.
Next
try.
Friday,
Yeah,
we'll be
try.
back.
Oh yeah, I'm good because I think I think that tournament. Yeah, I got my Sparking Zero tournament 26, so I'm good.
Oh, you got a
He's
tournament?
training in.
Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming it. No, I'll be streaming everything Sparking Zero.
All right,
So
bet. Hey, make sure y'all follow Josh. Tune into the stream. You know,
Yep.
follow Josen. Follow Sunny Slim. And we'll catch y'all next week. Thank y'all.
Later, guys.